Hello, Mixer. How you guys doing out there today? As we get into it a little bit late. Hey, Amrak. Hey, Mira. And hey, Craig. How you guys doing this evening? So, as we get into it nice and early this morning, or this evening. Wow, it's been one of those days, man. Let's get our players in real quick, see what's going on. Don't forget to retweet. Craig's already on that. He's a pro today. He's picking up the slack. Hi, players.
Hi, Civ.
Hi, Civ.
Hi, Civ.
Well, howdy there.
So,
Howdy.
Pyrrha,
Yes.
why don't you explain to us a little bit what's going on?
Alrighty. Pyrrha had been spending a lot of time recently at the Enclave of Valor to be able to help out with situations involving Tiamat and all of the horrors that the children of Tiamat had been bringing forward. So recently, the Temple of Torm, which is a temple that Pyrrha had funded to be built, had ended up posting forward a bounty to investigate one of the previous Templars of Torm. So Pyrrha had gathered together some of her stout friends to seek out, to find out what was going on with that Templar and try to learn more about the divine ventures of the people who had served Torm previously.
Alright, so who have you gathered today as your party?
Well, of course, Pyrrha would end up bringing Crystal, because Crystal is amazing and loves religion. She decided to bring Marcus, because Marcus also has a very strong religious view. She brought Mirth, because he is religious. And she brought
Not gonna lie.
Elliot, because, well, he's got a bear. And, you know, religion is the bare necessities.
Okay.
And they got acorns.
Share the cheat. I will. Come over, I'll give you a pinch. No, not stingy when it comes to it. So, you guys are all sitting inside of the, I would assume, the Burning Phoenix, or are you guys in the tavern today?
Pyrrha, Crystal, and Mirth, I know, are inside the guild hall.
Rennick Elliott.
Marcus is inside the tavern.
Rennick Elliott sleeping inside the tavern.
Alright, so Pyrrha,
The party already.
so you guys realize that two of your members are not in the... Are you going looking for them?
Pyrrha will tell the other two, hold on! And she will run out past Starshine, her Pegasus, and run to go and get the other two.
Okay.
First, while she's gone, Mirth will compliment Crystal's hat.
Oh, yes,
Thank
sir.
you!
You feel like you're being watched, Mirth. You just feel like you're being watched.
Is it rolling or boggle?
Both. In the office, staring down. So, why you? Because you're there. The others are left. So, you guys make your way, Pyrrha, you make your way across the island into the tavern. Vonner and Jenmei are there. Elliot is currently face down in black bear fur and drooling. And Marcus, are you downstairs kind of sitting at a table?
Yeah, I'm just sitting at a table.
Pyrrha would approach Marcus first, because he is conscious.
Is there a reason that Mirth has Rose's picture? Yes, there is. Mirth nat 20 his disguise check. He is not Rose.
That wild magic surge from like 5 years ago has finally come back to haunt him.
Yeah, he didn't know what it was until now. But continue. Sorry.
But
Okay.
Pyrrha would approach Marcus and say, hey, Marcus, how'd you like to go on an adventure?
Marcus would smile and bow his head to Pyrrha. Pyrrha. I would love to. What do you need me to do?
Well, today's adventure, I'd like to go to Penrith, to the Temple of Torm, and look into... They had posted a bounty involving investigating a Templar of Torm and trying to find out a situation that involved an artifact of Torm that previously stood.
Marcus raises an eyebrow. Did he steal this, or...?
We are uncertain at this time. The person had ended up going missing, so we're going to go to the temple, find out what information they have, and seek out the truth of exactly what was going on.
Marcus nods. If we have time, I can probably visit Aang and my family.
Absolutely. It's not like we're going to be rushing back to the Enclave right away after it gets done anyway.
Marcus nods. My sword is yours.
Splendid. Everybody else is gathering so far in the guild hall. I just have to get one more person. And she looks over towards...
hold on,
Elliot.
hold on. Who's your party? I should have asked this before I agreed.
I have a Crystal, and I have a Mirth.
Okay, I can work with that.
And I was thinking about asking him, and points towards the man sleeping on his bear.
I can work with the crystal and the mirth.
Acorns. He's snoring. Acorns. Acorns.
Pyra goes over and taps Bubba Bear on the back.
Bubble Bear lifts his head.
Hi, Bubba. Would you like to go on an adventure?
Bubble Bear is obviously gonna shake his head up and down.
Then let's go. Sorry.
I'm
Pyra
assuming
nods.
Bubble Bear takes off with Elliot on his back still.
Still sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
Acorns.
That's the sound of a plot hole filling up. You know it. We like to fill our plot holes with whatever we find laying around, because that's how we do it around here.
This is
So
a Pyra anyway. Pyra does what a Pyra does.
So, Bubba Bear starts taking off, following the two. Elliot, you are jostled awake as Bubba Bear is in full sprint, following behind Pyrrha and Marcus.
That wasn't ready! Where are we going?
How'd you like to go to Penrith and investigate holy stuff?
Oh, holy shit. Sure.
We're not going to investigate that.
What? Okay.
No holy shit today.
So,
Darn it.
the rest of the group meets you outside as you guys make your way towards Gavon, all of you hugging Crystal at once. Especially Bubba
Yes,
Bear.
because that'd be required.
It is required.
Tickle hugs! Tickle hugs!
So, you guys make your way over to Gavon, the teleportation circle. Was there anything said before he does the routine teleport to Penrith?
Pyrrha would give him a hug and ask him if he would happen to know anything about the passages of... One second. I'm pretty sure that it didn't end up saying the name of the Templar, but I'm going to double check.
It's the Temple of Torm.
I was looking to see if the actual Templar that went missing was known, but it wasn't written. If he has any thoughts of Father Ramenthen.
He kind of shrugs. Who?
Just wondering if you know.
You know him, Pyrrha. You're the one that put him
Pyrrha knows him. Pyrrha just wanted to know if other people had any thoughts of him.
No, he has no clue.
raises
Torm's not
his
his god.
So, I have a question. Can I see the bounty? Does anyone have it?
Pyrrha offers one over.
He looks over it. Cool! Is this friendly for Bubble Bear to go on?
Of course, Torm is a battle god, so Bubba Bear would be most certainly welcome because Bubba happens to like fighting too.
I thought we were gonna go talk to people.
We are, but Torm is a god of combat, so Bubba wouldn't have any challenge because there's nothing against bears.
Yay!
So, Gavon takes this as his cue to teleport you. You guys end up in the Arcana. Everyone here is actually familiar with Arcana. You all spent a good amount of time in Penrith. So, you guys are in the Arcana. As you kind of exit the teleportation circle, most of the guards still recalling all of your names, even you, Elliot. You didn't spend as much time in the city as everyone else, due to the fact that you have a hunting shack out in the woods, because redneck, Elliot, he's redneck.
Go Greenbacks.
Go Greenbacks, indeed. They address you by name and welcome you back as you guys head through. I think, again, for those of you who've never heard about the kind of, everything is enchanted here. Like the brooms, think of Fantasia, the brooms or mops are cleaning, dusting and everything as they exit into a chilly Paramount Square. There's some kids having a snowball fight off to the side. It's a little after midday. There's a number of people out and about doing their daily lives. So where are you guys going? Are you going right to the temples? Are you stopping off anywhere?
I was gonna do that later. I was gonna go check my cabin, see how it is.
After 5 years?
It's buried in snow, probably.
Marcus will go check on his family. Do we have time for me to check on my family first before we go, by any chance?
Absolutely.
Anybody have an objection to this?
No.
Marcus raises his hand instinctively.
I object to this myself. Let's go. No, I'm just kidding.
It's for the bare necessities, the simple.
So,
Huh? What?
Marcus, you kind of start heading towards the Martha Nost,
Yes.
where your family has been put up due to
Yes.
political events transpiring within your country. Namely, that you're a disgraced noble and your brother's taken over. So, you knock on the door as it takes a little bit of time before, say, Jonathan opens the door, and he is surrounded by miniature camels.
Marcus smiles and looks at him, puts his arms behind his back, and says, "My son."
Puts his arm behind his back and nods. Father.
Then Marcus smiles, bends down, and picks him up in a hug.
Okay. Obviously, he hugs you back.
Yep.
I don't remember all your kids' names. You have a lot of them. So.
A few. He has one or two.
All the camels start surrounding your legs.
Now, the camels' names I do not know, so I'm just giving you that heads up.
We'll just call them Camel 1 through Camel 65.
I thought they were all going to be named Marcus, like Boggle does.
Nope. Basically, what you realized is, because you haven't been around, they've allowed the camels to breed.
Oh,
Damn it!
There was no one. There was no in the large voting populace.
Why is there Camelberry White Plain?
Jonathan goes, "Mommy said it would help them, make them happy."
Oh, they look like they're happy, all right.
Please don't encourage them, Pyrrha.
See, Pierre sees that they're happy. Daddy, why don't you want the camels to be happy?
At least they're not horses.
Oh,
Not
we
yet.
had those too.
Oh, God. How many?
Well, there was 4, and then Mommy got mad.
So how many are left?
1.
Hey.
Is it still in one piece?
Oh, they had to be in one piece.
Generally, that
he
makes
laughs,
a horse.
He's been lying. There was no horses.
Yeah.
He knows his father's stance on horses.
He'll go and check on the rest of his family.
Oh, there.
And
What of your family members is missing?
which one?
Do I have to actually say it?
Aang's missing.
No. Mini Yang's missing.
Fiora's missing?
Yes.
Oh, hell no.
And her window is open.
Pierre's going to peg the one that lied to her with a snowball.
Yeah, he laughs and throws a snowball back at you.
Pierre giggles.
Yeah, you see Boot steps in the roof snow, and then off into the streets.
Onward to adventure!
I'm going to go find my daughter.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's go find her.
Hey, you-
Together!
Do you want Bubba Bear to find her?
I would honestly appreciate Bubba Bear helping me.
Sure. I'm good at tracking down people.
I didn't know she was training to be a rogue. Looks to her.
He just
you realize, like, give me an investigation in the room, Crystal.
Okay.
Yes, as you would know to look for this. You see Hope's escape plans.
Ah, that's
Fiora has found Hope's drawings of how to escape the house.
She picks up the notes and nods.
As she flips through and says, "There's plan Marcus, and it's just hide under Marcus's stuff." And it says very successful in crayon at the bottom. So, Bubba Bear, give me a survival check.
Who's rolling for me?
Now he's got to open up 2 sheets.
I know, right? Spartans.
Hey, Rennet Galley and Bubba Bear share survival checks. Sort of.
Sort
he's
of.
so good at this. 0 mod. 13.
He's good at perception checks to smell.
Yeah, but he's gonna find the track. He
gonna
grabs something and he starts darting off. He just starts
Marcus will follow.
Elliot waves as he's still on top of Bubba Bear. Bye, guys.
and
I hope he jumped out the window
he
first.
did. He jumped right out the window. He's following the scent. He jumps out the window.
Good boy.
Which is the one that overlooks Paramount Square, by the way. As he charges into the Fearless Wolf, Carrick waving as Bubba Bear charges into the kitchen and begins going after steaks.
I like to think me, Crystal and Pirates watching this from the window. Well,
Marcus looks at Bubba Bear and he's like, "She's not." The hell?
Carrick just looks at Marcus. Marcus. Do you know? And he points to the door that's still swinging back and forth, and you just see like little glimpses of Bubba Bear chewing on steaks, and then the door closes and swings open again. Elliot's got a raw steak in his mouth. He's joining Bubba Bear chewing.
yeah.
That isn't jerky yet. Marcus looks at Carrick and goes, "Carrick, my apologies. Do you know where Fiora is?"
He licks Marcus over, obviously inciting your intentions.
Oh, yeah, Marcus is going to go after.
How much trouble is Fiora in?
She escaped out of a window.
I'm asking a scale of 1 to 10, Marcus.
How much trouble?
Yeah.
It depends on. Right now, it's a 2, but it depends on who she's with.
Well, you know,
Carrick slides a piece of paper and starts writing on it. Slides it over to Marcus.
Marcus picks up the paper and looks at it.
Here's an address.
Do I recognize this address?
No. It's not in a good area.
Marcus,
She's not hanging out with
Looks up.
nobles.
okay. Oh, yeah. Marcus bows his head to Carrick and says, "Thank you."
Tywin waves to Marcus as he's still sitting, waiting for Vessi to arrive.
So waiting on that date?
He goes, no. You know, with all you guys not here, it's really nice. It's quiet. It's kind of relaxing. He's got a stack of books.
He's going to show the address to Tywin and say, "Do you recognize this address?"
That's in the slums.
Is it now?
Yeah,
Huh.
3 doors down, she'd probably be in a lot of trouble.
Oh, she's about to be in a lot of trouble.
Not as much as she was 3 doors down from there. He smiles with a shit-eating grin.
I assume Elliot would have stopped Bubba Bear by now and pulled him out of the.
I like to think the other way around. Bubba Bear's dragging Elliot by the seat of his pants into a second steak. as both Crystal and Pyrrha, who took the stairs, arrive.
Hi, Diamond.
He looks up, his eyes go wide as he's probably speared by Pyrrha.
Diamond!
Yeah, he's like, ah, my ribs. God. I don't have my armor on Pyrrha.
Elliot waves with a stick in his hand.
He ruffles her hair.
It's a good thing you had your armor on. Otherwise, I
didn't.
really
He
might have... Oh, I probably bruised your ribs.
Yeah, that's why he was
Lay on hands.
So was she here? He asked me.
Marcus looks at Mirth and says, "Nope. Apparently, she's in the slums."
Ooh, fun.
Hey, Tyven, want to join us?
What are you doing?
We're going to go pick up a Fiora, and then we're going to go and investigate.
You're no longer a noble, right, Marcus?
No, technically.
Yeah, there's no money in kidnapping her, sorry. He smiles towards Marcus.
Any idea where in the slums?
There's an address.
He shows the address.
Do I recognize it?
You're not. It's doesn't seem like it's too significant. Of like it's not like this is a massive thieves' den or.
Right. But like I know generally like oh yeah it's like
Yeah, the area. The area is pretty shady.
All right.
As
Oh,
Tybin
Mother
said,
Hubbard lives there.
as Tybin said, 3 doors down and she'd be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. I think I recognize it's like 3 streets over and like yeah.
Yeah, you know exactly where in the city it is. You just don't. The address itself doesn't hold any significance to you. Crystal would know. Most of you would know the general area it's in. Mirth, I would say you probably know it pretty much. Between 1 or 2 houses in your mind, you can pretty much picture it.
Pyrrha, being folk hero, would probably be like, oh, I recognize that place.
Yeah. Actually, Pyrrha, because your connections, it's not too far from where like all those poor innocent homeless people get obliterated by the heralds. It's like right in that area.
Oh, Crystal's been there.
Pyrrha remembers that place.
So, Marcus, do you lead your party on? As apparently we've been sidetracked from the initial mission.
Marcus looks at the party and says, I apologize, but my family's my first priority.
Hey, we can get Fiora and then go on the adventure. This is perfectly fine.
Yeah. Not like we didn't see this coming.
Anybody know how Arcane lock a window?
Emily, you should ask Michael.
Yeah, time goes, Michael.
I'll speak with Michael in just a few minutes. I'm going to go get my daughter.
Crystal high fives, Tyven.
He goes back. Davis, you can find him in the Arcana. So,
Marcus nods.
So, Tyven, how much would it end up costing for a distraction?
distraction for what?
So that Marcus can sneak in and get his daughter back without anybody else noticing.
Oh no, I'm not sneaking in.
Time and points. Family drama.
Pyra just thinks it would be highly amusing if Tyven ended up going in there and caused a situation.
Yeah, Tyven's like, it's quiet here. I'm enjoying my quiet. Please.
What are you reading?
He mushes a stack of books. It's just like a lot of it's like bard tales and stories like that. Not
Ooh,
necessarily.
I've read this. I've read that one.
It's not necessarily anything historical based. It's a lot more, he's reading because he can actually read and not hear, thousands of glasses shattering downstairs or a fight or. It's really tranquil right now.
Pyrrha reaches into her bag of holding and pulls out a summary of books that was provided to her by Riker and offers it over to Tyven and says, yeah, if you go to this location right here, there's a library where you can get more books. And look, Crystal even signed it.
Oh, okay, that one. Okay. I thought you were sending Tyven to the one in Oakraven.
Not the library.
Yes,
not the library.
Let's send the Asimar to the library full of fiends.
Bobby's library.
No.
Bobby's library.
He nods.
I like to think all the things on there have spoilers on them.
They do. So he nods and thanks as Marcus, you head with your group towards the slums.
If they wish to join.
You get on the street and why don't you give me a perception check?
Okay.
Everybody?
Yeah, I would say that most of you are looking at your surroundings.
Nat 20.
Pyrrha going hard. Chris, you've been beaten by a Pyrrha.
I have. I accept this.
So, I'm not rolling Borrelia because I don't have to. So, Pyrrha, Marcus, Marth, and Crystal, while they think they're relatively hidden, there are a lot of roguish individuals keeping lookout. Pyrrha, you witnessed a drug deal going down the street. That 3 houses away from your target. It's like Tyvin knew something.
Pyrrha shoulders her hammer. Hi there! What you doing?
He just sprints. And runs in his house. You hear like a chain of a lock that you realize you could just probably break by looking at it. Pyrrha.
Pyrrha goes over to the door and gives it a hearty kick.
Yeah, it flies open. You didn't need to roll for this one.
Not when it's a Pyrrha being a Pyrrha.
He's stuffing things into a grate in the floor. Oh, no! It just...
Apparently this is what we're doing today.
Pyrrha?
Cops, Penrith edition.
You know you shouldn't be doing that. You know you shouldn't be doing that.
I know what you're talking about.
I saw everything.
She must have been mistaken.
See, she's the good cop, points towards Crystal. I'm the bad cop, starts holding up a guiding bolt.
Pyrrha? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
sir.
He may have wet himself already.
Oh.
Thankfully, he's over the grate, so it rains.
Prestidigitation. Maybe next time you'll stop doing public deals. Because if I catch you again, I will give you an enema with a guiding bolt.
He just runs.
Ew.
Pyrrha looks over to Crystal. Hi! And gives her a hug.
Hi, Pyrrha. She hugs her back.
So, Marcus, you watch 3 of your members go play good cop, bad cop to a drug dealer. Not too far from where Fiora is.
Okay. Marcus is, again, first priority is his family.
You come up to the door.
Mm-hmm.
Mirth and the bear and Elliot next to you. Pyrrha and Crystal coming
Howdy.
towards you.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus knocks on the door.
There's a moment before there's a... You can hear footsteps.
Marcus steps back from the door and puts his arms behind his back.
Very slow. Give me an investigation. What'd you get?
23.
Sounds old. There's a small limp to it.
He steps back from the door and puts his arms behind his back.
Mm-hmm. You can kind of hear like the lock being like fiddled with, and before the door opens, you see a very, very old human female, late age. You would guess probably in her late 80s, maybe early 90s.
Okay.
Hello?
First of all, Marcus is going to try to see if this is an illusion.
Okay, give me an investigation again.
Nope, totally not an illusion.
Not at all, Marcus. I don't... How dare you?
I got you.
I will give you her... Would you like the description? Of this old
Please.
woman? This old woman is actually a double. Her name is a Battler. No, I'm just kidding. Silver, straight hair, awkwardly hangs over a fresh-lived face. Dancing amber eyes set handsomely within their sockets watch heartily over the haven they felt disconnected from for so long. Wrinkles basically adorning most of her face, as she has lived a hard life.
Marcus looks at her and bows his head slightly. Excuse me, madam, I'm looking for my daughter.
He must be Fiara's father.
Marcus nods.
Oh, she extends her hand. You can see the hand is very wrinkled. You'd even looking like the knuckles, the bones, the arthritis. Very long ago has set in. Unable to work and do any sort of manual labor. She is probably living on whatever she has ever saved up. I'm Tanya Malls. It's it's a pleasure.
I'm going to go ahead and spell that because I know. There you go. Marcus will shake her hand. I'm assuming it's normally like it would be. It isn't going through or anything like that.
No, it's
no difference.
Yeah, there's no illusion here. After making contact with it, there's no illusion at all.
Elliot's gonna look to Marcus and say, "Can I talk to you for a second? Like maybe 5 feet over here."
Marcus looks at the lady and then looks at Elliot and looks back at her and says, "Excuse me, if you don't mind."
Of course.
I apologize.
Would you
You'll
like me to
walk
get your daughter?
Please, if you don't mind.
She slowly starts making her way back into the house.
Okay.
Do you need help? Do you need healing?
Oh dear, I'm just old.
You must have the best stories.
You could say that.
So Elliot's gonna look to Marcus when she's gone. He's like, "I don't trust her." He's whispering this. You know how much old people they can get away with and whatnot? I seen some stuff, man. I seen some stuff.
Marcus blinks and he's like, "What isn't she trusted for?"
I don't know. 1 second, she's all nice and happy like. The next second, kapow! She hits you with a spoon.
Give me an insight, Marcus.
Remind me to ask you about your upbringing in a letter.
You don't need to insight. You already got it.
Okay.
Old people are the devil, sort of. Not really.
Marcus looks to Mirth.
Mirth looks to Marcus.
He looks back to Elliot and he's just, "Well, if you don't feel she needs to be trusted, then since you're Nost, then I can tell her not to come back here."
No. You can do as you feel. I'm just giving you advice. I'm just saying. Here, take this acorn.
Marcus hands him another acorn. Trade you.
Sweet. This one, I'll keep it at the very bottom of my collection. You keep that one, because that one will protect you. In case old ladies try to hit you with a spoon, then you get hit her in the forehead with the acorn, it'll distract her and you can run.
You see, as this is wrapping up, you see Fiora being walked to the door by about she's 16, so about a 17-year-old boy who walks over directly towards you as Fiora pointed you out and extends his hand towards you.
Oh no!
Brown, short hair slightly covers a bony, worried face. Dead amber eyes set low within their sockets. Watch over the home which is lost so much. Basically, his description.
And that's the description of the boy.
Yes.
Marcus eyes him up for a moment and extends his hand. And you are?
Nithan Mall, sir. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Dawnbringer.
Marcus shakes his hand, nods.
Fiora has not said a word, by the way. I'm pretty sure she saw your face, and you can't hide that 8.0 you're in trouble face.
Yep. It has now gone up.
Is it 10 now?
No, it's not 10. It was 2 to begin with. Now it's at least 8. How do you know my Fiora?
She's helping me learn to read.
I insight.
Good. She's helping him learn to read.
That's really nice.
I just give Marcus a nod.
I wish I had
nods.
someone to help me read.
You don't know how to read? I can help you.
No, I know how to read now, but like when I was growing up and whatnot.
Chad thinks it's a 9.5, by the way, Marcus.
It's about to get there. So she's just teaching you to read, correct? And he looks at Fiora.
She nods.
And she needed to sneak out of the Nost to do this?
He blinks.
He looks at Fiora.
She points to the area which she's in, and you would let me come here.
And he couldn't go to, like, the wolf?
She motions inside. She's all he has. And she's not doing well.
She said she was okay. Does she feel it?
Vera just, because she's old and I don't think there's anything you can do. No offense, Miss Poglion.
Mirth whispers Crystal, yeah, she looks about as old as Ethan's grandmother.
Probably as old, if not older, yeah. Except that the difference between her and Ethan's grandmother's more spry because Ethan's grandmother was an adventurer. She was a farmer, just a farmer. She had no other abilities.
Marcus, go ahead.
If your daughter's here, does that mean Aang's here too?
Aang was sleeping in the room. She's pregnant. They sleep a lot.
Pyrrha will look over towards the boy and go, how much does it generally end up costing for the household every month?
I work in the fields and take whatever I can. I have for about the last 5 years.
How much is the debt for the house?
He looks. It's like a silver a month upkeep.
Pyrrha reaches into her pouch, withdraws out 50 platinum, and offers them to the boy.
He looks white, pale white. Like he can't fathom that much money.
You are going to take care of your family and the household. And anytime Miss Fiora comes over here, you're going to make sure that she's safe. Because if she's not safe, I'm going to come after you.
She nodded. I would make sure she was safe anyway. She's helping me out. I would never put her in danger.
Good. Then we should never have a problem. Because I want to make sure that my Nost family is safe. And since you care so much for your family should be taken care of.
Yes, ma'am.
Marcus looks at Fiora and says, is your lesson over for the day?
We're just about wrapping up. She looks towards the setting sun. I don't like it here at dark. She's like, I don't even like there not to be a full sun in the sky.
Then gather your things. Head home.
She already has them. She heard you were here. She's got everything. She
Then
went
head
accidentally
home.
taking things that weren't hers. She was scared.
Head home. We will discuss this later.
She knows.
Does your mother know about this?
No. She's not lying. Just
Head home.
sneaking out.
Head home.
She
We will
nods. She's already
discuss
going.
this. Okay.
Ellie's
Hey,
gonna walk over
He
to
looks,
the boy and
he looks to Marcus. With all due respect, sir.
Mark.
It was my idea, not hers.
With all due respect, that's not a great way to make a first impression either.
I understand. But
And she also will.
My grandmother, my
She
father
also.
lived on honesty, and it would be.
I understand.
Yeah, he knows. He's doing his best to be like take as much blame as he can.
I understand.
But, you know,
But Marcus's next response would be, and with all due honesty, it was also her decision to agree to this plan.
He knows.
Pyrrha would slowly reach over to Marcus, lightly resting a hand on his shoulder, and say, Marcus, at least now he will be able to, if he and his grandmother decide to, they can move up to a better part of the city. They can end up being able to have a new beginning. And if Fiora wants to visit in the newer, better part of the area, then that would be acceptable, would it not?
Marcus looks at the boy and goes, if you need help with schooling, then let me know. I will help with your schooling as much as possible.
That if you would rather have that, then you'd ought to come here by all means. I look to you.
I don't imagine that it would particularly hurt if she had some friends that were outside of the Nos too, Marcus.
Friends are good. You guys are friends, right?
Y-
She looks to him.
Yes, ma'am.
Marcus nods.
Is that your
Now-
father's?
He looks back over his shoulder and nods. Well, it might not actually been his, but they gave it to us.
Marcus looks around. Is anybody noticing this interaction? Is anybody stopping?
There's people in the streets looking and speaking. They more along the lines seem to be gossiping rather than have any sort of protection for this boy.
Is anybody looking at the bag of platinum he was just given?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. These are the slums. Even in Penrith, there are slums.
I understand.
This kid is gonna get shanked. Chat thinks.
He is.
It's nice.
Pyrrha will go ahead and do a sending and send to the Academy of Paladins and ask for somebody to come down to make sure that this family is able to be safe long enough to get into a better form of housing.
This one of the paladins, the one that you send to. There's one question they obviously agreed to your order, and then they ask a very simple question: do you require Nog?
There's always a need for Nog.
Yeah, they're bringing Nog to you.
Marcus looks at him and says, okay. My apologies. We'll converse more later.
Thank you, sir. Again, I apologize for anything that I've caused.
Give my thanks to your grandmother, and take care of her.
Of course, sir.
I don't think you caused anything bad. She looks from Marcus to the boy. You're just going out with friends, right?
Nods. You kind of look like Marcus. Marcus does look angry.
Marcus is also going to insight that as well.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like he's trying to hide something.
No, he's literally, as much as you can tell, she has been helping him breed.
Okay, that's cool.
Pyrrha will look over towards the boy and go, if there's any other form of education that you would like to look into beyond, in addition to the assistance of Lady Fiora, I would welcome you to consider the possibility of an education at either the Academy of Paladins or the Academy of Clerics here in Penrith.
He nods to you, with all due respect, Miss, because Pierce looks young. I just want to have at least my education at this point, because I had to give it up.
It is an opportunity and an offer that stands anytime that you decide.
Can you put the boy's name again? Because you did tell it to Marcus.
Oh, that's the description.
Oh, the description. I apologize.
Nope, that's the description.
Thank you. I guess we would wait for the paladin to
Yeah,
arrive.
they get there pretty quick. It's like it's one-shot time.
Yeah.
It's like it's one shot time.
Yeah, plus it's the matron mother of the freaking academy. You generally don't want to keep them waiting.
No.
Redneck Elliot's gonna go up to the boy and he's gonna hand him a jar of acorns and just look to him and say, "Well, if you ever want to get in the good books with that man, take these acorns. They're also very pricey, especially with squirrels. I'm just saying. And praise real fan. That's all I gotta say. Okay, bye."
I will plant them in the spring.
Okay, bye.
Bye? He's really confused at this point. He's been given more money than he can fathom, Office of Education, and a jar of acorns.
Yep.
Really expensive jar of
And
acorns.
yeah, it's more ornamental now, this one, than would be like a Firefly.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like a memento than a working one.
Oh,
If you ever want to become a hunter, find me. High five.
Marcus looks at the group and looks at the boy and goes, "Again, my respects to your grandmother."
Of course, sir.
And he looks at the group and he goes, "Are we ready?"
I got us rations. And he holds up steak.
It's still raw, Elliot.
You don't know that. Let's go.
Mirth looks at Crystal. I'm afraid that boy's gonna get stabbed at some point.
There's 2 paladins standing outside his house now.
Yeah.
well, hopefully the paladins will keep him safe. That's what Pyrrha asked him to do, I guess. I assume Pyrrha told us why the paladins were suddenly here.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
I would have explained it.
They seem nice.
Marcus also looks at the group and goes, "I apologize for distracting us."
She looks over to Mirth. Maybe you should, whisper him to tell him the best spots how you would come in.
Do what now?
I gave him those acorns so he could be happy with you. Understood.
Crystal was asking Mirth to point out to the paladins with whispers on the best ways that rogues and assassins would break into the house.
Oh, yeah. He'd do that.
Mirth, you realize that you could get in this house so many ways. Like, this house is not in the greatest condition.
Oh, jeez. You might...
You just just watch the whole thing. It's that simple.
Either get 50 more guys to, stand in, a literal wall of men, or
It's not that big. It's probably 3 rooms. 2 bedrooms and a kind of a common kitchen / dining.
So
/
10 men.
laundry / everything else in this one little room.
Yeah,
Jeez.
You're in the slums, dude. You're lucky they each have their own bedroom. You figure they only each have their own bedroom because his parents probably had one. It was a family home, you know.
Yeah,
He probably grew up sleeping in the common room.
I, honest to God, see Charlie Bucket from Willy Wonka at this point.
Yeah.
That house, I think, is bigger
Yeah.
than this house.
They had enough room for all the grandparents.
Yeah,
If
They did.
but it's that kind of living. It's generational.
Jarek was here, he could tell you he's lived in a smaller house than this. He only had one room.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys had a
Walked
house?
Yeah, walked uphill both ways. Got it. All right. Shall we?
Yes. So you guys make your way over, all the way across town, like the literal 10 miles as you walk to the upper class and to the temple district through the gates. As you guys approach the one of them, I think it's the most recent temple to be built, the Temple to Torm.
Definitely looks quite remarkable now that it's more fully established.
Whoa, I ain't seen this one yet.
Very nice, Pyro.
It looks amazing! She gives Pyrrha a hug.
I mean, the
Here,
entire
here's
way, I'm pretty sure at least Crystal has been hugged by every cleric she's walked by. I'm spending so much
probably.
time in there. As is Pyrrha, probably.
She still has her hat
I
on?
imagine.
She does.
I imagine they're avoiding Elliot because of the smell.
No, he's been pegged by a few of the druids that know him with acorns. And the clerics that know him. You know, there's been a couple of the Celadrine priests who remember Marcus from his time here, who nod and greet him as they walk by.
Marcus bows his head and greets them back.
And Mirth, you see a couple of the Palor priests as you had to walk you're almost going to the Temple of Palor, and then where the Celadrine is, they would have put the Temple of Torm kind of at the bottom of the hill by where Palor's temple is. So you would have seen, you guys each seeing people that you have known for 5 years or so. And depending on how much you've interacted with them, you know, it's the type of greetings you guys get in the while walking through.
Yep. Pyra didn't end up basically leaving Penrith up until she literally went to the guild. So it was like she was there constantly for the 5 years, making sure everything was going well.
So, you guys enter the Temple of Torm. As you kind of come towards you kind of walk into the sides, no Pyrrha being Pyrrha. I would assume she's going to walk by the kind of the training grounds in the center first before heading towards like the main area of devotion.
Yep.
So, you know, as you walk down these things, all of the, the bush is kind of pulled inside to be warm. You kind of see a number of paladins and clerics going through their drills in the courtyard and training. For people like Crystal and Marcus and Mirth, lesser to an extent Elliot, just because you spent most of your time outside, it's, to those of you that have been away for the majority of your time, it's nice to see the life brought back into the Temple District after the attacks of Orcus and the issues with the Heralds 5 years ago. The temples were almost a wasteland, save for a few priests keeping the faith alive for the common man. Even the commoners at that point were afraid to enter the Temple District due to the events that had transpired. To see the life brought back over 5 years of healing and recruiting and training, and even I know Pyrrha, based on what she had done over the 5 years, in the instances she had left Penrith, they were to go to other orphanages, whether they be across the continent or other places that she knew she could trust the quality of individual. Trying to see what this is. And they were basically to interact with the people. She would recruit people from different orphanages, offering them the chance, even if it's not to Torm, and in the Paladin Academy, to bring them a chance at a better life.
Yep.
Nothing was promised to them but the opportunity to see if they could gain a god's favor. As you guys make your way towards the central area of worship, inside, just before you get to there, Pyrrha, even on your passive, you see someone in the corner of your eye, and then you guys watch as Pyrrha is laid out and tackle hugged.
Pyrrha hugs back.
You see that at this moment there is the rest of you see a half-elf female, brown layered hair, double braided to reveal a lean, frowning face, glinting hazel eyes set narrowly within their sockets, watch meticulously over the temple they've stood guard for so long. She looks up and smiles at Pyrrha. You know her as Anila Moss, Pyrrha. She was probably one of the first people you recruited, and she is a Penrith native.
Hello there.
Pyrrha!
Hi. How are you doing?
You're back? Is this for good? Are you coming back, or what's going on?
I had received the bounty at the Enclave of Valor with the Burning Phoenix Guild, and I had brought some friends to come and see what could be done about it. I'll be visiting more often, though.
So you said last time She hands you an egg dunk.
Hey, I did come back during Christmas time. And Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but then you left.
I only leave for a little bit at a time.
So, she goes, there was this weird guy.
Weird guy.
I think you'd like him. He's kind of like a little bit eccentric. She goes, I think you get along great with him. Father Then, is waiting for you.
Splendid. What more do you know about the eccentric guy?
She goes, I don't know. I didn't get to talk to him. He only would talk to Then.
Oh, okay. I guess that would be the first step then, to talk to him.
And she walks over, giving each of you a hug.
Oh, Crystal hugs her back. Hi.
Elliot's like, don't touch my bear.
She already hugged the bear before he had a chance.
No!
Fallen,
Buddy!
do you
Both
think
licks
Ethan,
her.
I'm curious, Fallen, do you think Ethan would have known her since she'd helped train paladins for 5 years?
Most likely, because Pyra was completely supporting the academies of paladins and clerics,
Ethan
trying
would
to
know,
reestablish it.
So my input in this is Ethan would know her. I don't know how well he would know her based on the fact that she is Torm or he is Cord, but he would definitely have no name, face, and a little bit about her.
I was wondering if, like, Mirth would have, like, oh yeah, I recognize the name. Ethan told me, mentioned somebody or something like that.
Possibly.
All right. I think my fiance mentioned your name once or
She
twice.
tilts her head.
Ethan Meridian.
I know Ethan. He helped me get my shield arm. She kind of like lifts her arm.
Yes, he's quite good at that.
She goes,
See what now?
Bubba Bear has licked her, and she has hugged Bubba Bear, so it's too late.
Good.
He's waiting for you right now, Lady Pyrrha. And she kind of smiles as she says it.
Pyra giggles a little bit at it. And this is Lord Dawnbringer.
She bows
Marcus.
her head.
Marcus puts his arms behind his back. I'm just Marcus. I'm not a lord.
He's still a lord here. He
Understood,
may not
Lady
be
Pyrrha.
in his homelands anymore, but according to the temple and on the grounds that I possess, he is still a lord in my heart and my mind.
Understood, Lady Pyrrha. Lord Dawnbringer, it's a pleasure.
Marcus smiles and bows his head to her.
And she kind of leads you.
Madam.
The only, the 10 more feet you have to go to the doors, opening them up to you. See a beautiful kind of center of prayer and worship. There are, Crystal, you would see that Pyrrha followed a little bit in your stead and taking a little bit of the design of the Temple of Agma. And there are, off these sides of where you would normally sit for, if they were doing like a sermon or something on the Word of Torm, there is a few kind of little study nooks with books and desks.
She hugs Pyrrha.
You didn't think that I'd
Only with
forget
it.
about the time at the Temple of Agma, did you, Crystal?
No, this is amazing. It's perfect. You
And
put in a lot of time and effort into this.
sitting up on kind of the altar, praying over it, there's a man kind of dressed in the traditional robes of Cord. For a priest, Pierre, even though he is a priest, he is not a cleric or paladin. His purpose in the church is not one of fighting, it is one of teaching.
Pierre's untroubled by this.
No, you appointed him.
Yep.
So, it kind of hears and kind of slowly makes his way up. You see the brown frizzled hair is pulled back to reveal a fresh, sad face. Darting green eyes, set concealed within their sockets, watch warmly over the spirits they felt at home for so long. A mustache delightfully complements his cheeks and leaves a fascinating memory of his fortunate destiny.
Hello there, Pyrrha will smile and nod.
Yeah, Lady Pyrrha.
I have ended up receiving the bounty while at the Burning Phoenix Guild in regards to some circumstances of some concern here, so I brought some companions to assist in the venture.
Well, of course, Lady Pyrrha, you told us to send the bounty to you when we found any word.
I am most certainly pleased that something had come around. Also, I was wanting to make a small request, if I might.
This is, as long as, within the church's power.
There is a young man that lives in the slums. His name is Nathan Mullis. He is seeking to be able to seek to better his education. And I had let him know that there would be a standing offer should he choose education at the academy or the temple, that he would be able to attend services here and be able to seek his education here.
No, he nods. I will make sure that it is noted in our books.
Thank you. I am greatly appreciative of this.
He walks up, Lord Dawnbringer, if I am correct. Extends his hand.
Marcus smiles, bows his head slightly to him, and he says, "Your Grace," and shakes his hand.
And that would make you Miss Boglione, correct?
It is.
He extends his hand to you.
Oh, my name is Crystal. It's nice to meet you. She shakes it.
And that would make you Mirth Furnash.
Pleasure, sir.
And shakes your hand. And he looks to the bear and to Elliot, and he stifles a small chuckle. And that would make you Grand General Elliot Windrunner.
Ha!
And Lord Bubba Bear.
You forgot. Hi, my name is Elliot Windrunner. This here's my black. I'm a part of the GBHO, otherwise the Greenback Hunting Organization.
Hunting Organization, yes.
Yep, can't forget that neither. And the NOS and the Burning Phoenix Guild, which is why we're here. Hi.
And
Hello,
the
man.
Golden Hunt.
The what? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. And he like pulls out of his bag this giant golden sash. I'm a part of those two guys too, I think.
He has so many organizations. It's great.
I totally forgot that was jingling in my pocket. Thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome. I could hear it.
And how long has it been in your pocket?
6 years.
6 years.
He's never gone on a hunt with them for 6 years. He earned his membership. His poor Bubba, the other greenback, is just waiting for Elliot to come back to go to hunt for 6 years.
Just out of curiosity, you haven't checked your pockets in 6 years?
Why don't you?
Yes.
I mean, are you really surprised, Marcus?
Well, sorry. I live out in the wild, and most of my clothes are all patched up with other leather pieces I find and whatnot, or kill.
Wait, you're wearing leather pants?
Yep.
I have a lot of pockets. Look at this. He pulls out like more acorns out of a side pocket. He pulls out a fork, tosses it behind him. Oh, Bugbear jerky! And he pulls it out of his pocket again.
Oh, please tell me that jerky's not like 12 years old.
It's like 6.
So, why don't... Okay, so I've read the bounty. Pyra has mentioned it briefly, but we're looking for someone. So we're on the same page.
There's a knock on the door. Anilla peeks in. Lady Pyrrha, Father, then, he's arrived.
Splendid. Show him in, please.
She opens the door as the human walks in. Black short hair slightly covers a fine, charming face. glittering gray eyes set buried within their sockets, watch enthusiastically over the stronghold they've become enchanted with for by so long. A goatee delightfully complements his nose and mouth, leaves a gracious memory of his fortunate looks. And he walks in, kind of a stack of books, a quill and pens balanced on them, a kind of like a scholar's pouch and a backpack slung over his back. You must be Lady Pyrrha and Lady Crystal, and quite the heroes are gathered here today.
Ha! You didn't say all my titles, but I'll let it slide.
He called you a hero, Elliot.
What do you say?
Oh God,
Who are
he
you?
called you here.
Oh, hi. I am Elliot Windrunner. This here's my black bear, Bubba Bear. I'm also a hunter of the GBHO, or otherwise known as the Greenbacks Hunting Organization. I'm also the great general from the Azor War, also known as, the dictator, but I like to say that. I got this golden sash on part of the Golden Hut, also part of Armada Nost, and I got a pin. That's from, where's it from again? Burning Phoenix.
Ah, I see that the four of you have decided to help the less fortunate. Your stories definitely are ones to be told.
Oh, I'm not less fortunate. I get by.
Keep telling yourself that, good sir. We believe in you. He smiles.
Thank you. What do you say?
He believes in us.
Sweet. What are we doing here?
I said we're helping him. Right.
He puts down like the books on a kind of an end table. Takes his backpack out and looks to Lady Pyrrha. So, Lady Pyrrha, I believe that you have a weapon.
That I do. And Pyrrha will unshoulder her hammer, which pulses with the radiant energy within it, and show it to him.
Ah, may I? He motions to the Crusader's mantle.
Certainly.
Oh, that's a cool hammer.
He says, I do need to do something to your hammer, to be sure.
Go ahead.
He pulls out, it looks like some sort of tool. He begins taking your Crusader's mantle off your hammer.
That's cringeworthy.
Do you let him continue?
I will quirk a brow, but let him continue.
You hear the popping sound as it comes off. Ah, excellent. And he starts twisting and turning this small, as the initial description, remember, it was like a golden star with this kind of whitish, almost radiant, emanating, like semicircle, protruding from it in the center. And he begins twisting it, and he pops it out, and you see that the orb, actually, as he takes it out, goes from a semicircle to a smaller orb, in itself fully spherical. Thank you for the follow, Mercenary Crab. He looks nervous. This is you hold this, please.
Pyrrha will hold
the
it.
part of it, it's almost like a beacon that the power source is obviously the sphere, and this allows it to power whatever it is attached to. And he takes it and he walks over to one of the desks and begins flipping through the books at him and just muttering to himself in languages and words you're not fully comprehending. However, there are some of you that do speak this language, who speaks ancient Celestial.
Okay.
High five, Crystal.
High fives.
Pyrrha, do you speak ancient Celestial?
I do not speak ancient. I speak the regular celestial.
You're hearing bits and pieces. Doesn't make it sort of grammatically all over the place, right? You can, when it's spoken, you can get bits and pieces of it, as we did with Druidic and any other ancient language that you guys have encountered so far. You can get bits and pieces, but the grammatical, it's really hard to try and follow. Where Mirth and Crystal are following, and even understanding the language all over the place. It's gibberish. And he stops. Can it be? He flips through more, and he gets another book and starts flipping through it. As you see another book levitate, and pages start flipping there. Aha! And he says, would you like it back then, of course?
Sure.
He takes it, and you see with the orb there, and it starts to melt down into the thing, the little mechanisms, like, ticking, and then forming back up. He says, and he puts it back on the hammer, says a few words in this ancient celestial as it bounds right back to your hammer, leaving the stats completely the same. He does not break it.
Yay!
He says, that's interesting. You and her and... Huh. What color are Pyrrha's eyes?
Red.
Ah, that's different, but...
That was cool. Can you do that? That doogie, higgy, majiggy that you just did right now to other weapons?
If they have Crusader's Mantis, of course.
Say what now? Someone speak English.
If they have similar devices.
Okay, I heard that.
He looks to you. So you know nothing of this, of course, don't you?
No.
He was looking at Pyrrha. No, I understood that one. Smiling at Elliot.
I know very little of it. I had been able to speak during my first initial stay when I had first found the mantle in Penrith during an adventure. I had been able to ask the smith who had actually forged the hammer and put the mantle onto it about it, and she informed me of the fact that the mantle had come from a Templar of Torm that had apparently fallen.
Well, that, while correct, is not accurate. I wasn't lying to you, I would assume, but that's how Crusaders' Mantis are formed. I mean, any religion. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to harness it if it was, say, motions to crystal, if it was a Templar of Ogma.
Pure nuts.
Wait. So what you're telling me is there's a dead guy's soul or body or something like that inside that hammer?
No, incorrect.
I'm confused.
It's not a guy.
The girl?
Yes.
You just made a baby.
What? He looks to, like, the other four of you. Translation, please?
He's speaking of the fact that someone's inside it. It's not similar to procreation, Elliot.
I know, that's what I just said.
Okay, I'm sorry. My ear/internet cut out for a second. What did you just say about the hammer? And there's a soul?
There's a doohickey person.
There's a doohickey person in Pyrrha's hammer.
Okay.
He looks towards Pyrrha. How versed are you with history?
I am reasonably well versed. She has expertise.
Roll me a history check. Let's see how much Pyrrha actually knows about the world right now. Ooh. Pyrrha is kind of...
Can I help and give her advantage?
No, this is a self one. Pyrrha's... Everything going on, this is big to Pyrrha. Her mind's not like, she's not recalling facts as she normally would. That is where we're going to put it. It's not that she doesn't
She's been
know
a
them,
little baffled because of
yeah.
Tiamat.
Between Tiamat and just watching the hammer, pull up her hammer and a sphere and there's a mechanism like this. This has got her very questioning, not factually. He goes, so Feyfria, that is her name.
You spell that?
I will when we get to it.
I'm sorry, did you say Freya?
Feyfria.
Freya, I apologize.
She was a paladin. Female, as I said. Eladrin. Story said her red shoulder-length hair gently hangs over a skinny and sad face. Woeful brown eyes, set appealingly within their sockets, watching fondly over the families she had come to appreciate for taking her in. Several moles spread beautifully upon her red cheek and leaves a lasting burden of her fortunate destiny and ultimate demise. She... And he kind of scratched his head. What do you know of Lay Hill Valley? And I'll get you the name, because I can't remember how to spell it off the top of my head. In my notes it says, make sure you check. Leto. Here we go.
Wonder if Pyrrha would know anything about the fall of Leto Valley.
Never. It's not on any map you've ever seen. If anyone else would like to roll history, now is your time.
Can I roll for the
Unless
fall?
it's in your note. That's why I had you roll for everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can someone roll for me?
Torm,
Just in case.
If you have something in your notes about it, you may use your notes.
Oh, do you mean the one, the one where I had the Shroudlight one, where years and years and years ago they had a whole bunch of rising up and the gods forsake them. That's why they don't like people. They like the gods and temples and Shroudlight.
That would be correct.
Yep.
So in character, you may blurt out what you know.
Oh yeah, I was there
Okay,
too.
hold on. I have to find them.
So Marcus, you've heard of this with the shroud. It's just a Shroudlight. It's always been more of a legend told than a historical event to you, though, Marcus. Elliot, you were there, so you could pass. Mirth, if you don't have it in your notes, then you wouldn't know it.
Okay.
Oh boy, talking about Shroudlight.
Well, as it's now known, the Dark Desert, yes.
Dark Desert has a bunch of demons, raging people, dragons and whatnot.
Was that Leto Valley? Was that the place where the prison for the fiends, or no?
Yes.
Okay. Mirth
It's
wasn't on
now
that
known as
mission.
the Dark Desert.
Mm-hmm.
Mirth doesn't know that. Wasn't on that mission, so he doesn't know anything about that.
I mean, last
Liana
time we
told
were
you about it when she was there. Remember?
last
Vinny
time we
said,
were there.
Oh, well, yeah, he almost killed her because like you let demons go.
Yeah,
So he
I was gonna say.
he looks as Crystal starts going flipping through her notes. He looks to Pyrrha. See, Leto Valley was once a lush, beautiful valley. Well, there are arguments that our plane is the first world created. Obviously, Bator being an argument by some scholars. The mortals there wish for power, protect what they had, making pacts with devils and demons, anything they could, to try and form an arms race in the first Tenebrae era, or so the research says. And there were few holy people, Feafria being one of the first, the devoted, who attempted to cleanse them of their evil, in hopes that the gods would take pity on the society as a whole. I aim to find the truth and the stories, the real stories, so that we may tell them and not make the same mistakes.
That would certainly be ideal, to be able to know the truth and be able to have a verifiable connection and history of what exactly happened.
Exactly. There are said there to be great prisons that house things very powerfully. I only came upon this when I was traveling 5, 6, almost 7 years ago. I was lost in the desert. before, at night, trying to find my way low on food and rations, I saw a beacon of light. It wasn't far. I ran through the desert, stopping to pick up a book that I dropped, and it was very, very tedious operation. I saw 3 individuals step upon some sort of holy relic, and watch their very essence turn into a bastion of light, sent into the heavens, gone, before it almost succumbed back to the sands. Everything that I can find out, everything that I've been able to find so far, says it deals with these titans that rose at that time. And this is not the first time they've risen. There are stories that we don't know, and I aim to uncover them, and it would seem that Torm has led me to you to tell Fifria's story.
I would certainly greatly appreciate that.
Marcus
Torm.
Marcus looks at the man and says, "Was this near Scorchwood?"
He shakes his head. Scorchwood is on the other side of Lakia.
My apologies.
Torm, giants, ancient relic. Cinder know anything about this?
What'd you say?
Does Miss Malbec know anything about this?
That would probably end up requiring her to leave her home more often.
He looks to Pyrrha. There is one potential here that I should warn you. I feel it's only right of me.
I'd appreciate any information you can provide.
It is said that if you uncover and share with the world the deeds of a soul in this status, so that they can truly ascend to sainthood, that their essence will leave the orb and will render the Crusader's mantle no longer.
But it would provide them with the freedom that they openly
It would
deserve
ascend
from
them
what they've
to
done.
sainthood in their religion. That is, at least as far as we understand it.
Pyrrha nods. How would we be able to find more information about the situation of Lady Fafira?
Well, now that I know who it is, I plan to set up shop here. If the father and you will have me.
I would not be opposed, and I'm sure that
And
the
this-
Temple of Agma would also assist for any research that would be required.
We can make copies!
He nods, yes. And you being adventurers, I'm sure you'll come across things and have more research than I do as a simple scholar.
Well, I mean, from the Fall of Lighter Valley, it's called with Shroud Light. Oh, what was it? They had the tales that there was the gods forsake them. That's why there's no temples or religious people there anymore. Of course, the uprisings didn't help any either. And then,
Just so y'all know, yeah, those ain't those places gone now, or whatever?
I mean, the ancient temple's still there, I imagine. But that was of Ilmater? Was it Mater? I think it was from Ilmater. I'm looking through my notes. Yes, I think. Yes.
Pyrrha reaches into her bag of holding and withdraws out another bounty that happens to be from a Temple of Elmater, and shows it to Crystal.
You need to understand. He takes out He turns to the book, pulls out a scroll case from his bag, and starts unscrewing it. Let's see. Over here, towards the temple. Towards the table. Because he's been working off like a pew, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he starts scrolling out this hand-drawn map. It's the size and shape of the Dark Desert. However, where there's sand, there's maps of a sprawling city and gardens and waterfalls and temples to various gods. This is as close as I've been able to get it. To recreate Leto Valley.
Do you mind if I copy that?
No. He pulls out a book and raises his finger, begins muttering, and touches it, and he just holds out a second copy. Fabricate is a wonderful spell.
Teach me.
I don't think you can learn it. Ileana could. But
I know
I'm
a
home, by the way.
wizard. Are you a wizard? Is that why you know that?
yes,
That. Oh, how did you know that?
I'm a scholar.
I know.
This is all bits and pieces together as best as I could do it. It was a giant puzzle. It's been my life's work. He's in his, 50s. He's probably been working on this for 40 years.
She gives him the biggest hug.
Oh, God! I have weak ribs!
I'm sorry. I'll heal him. It's okay. Hugs.
I'll be right back.
You gave me a book. Thank you.
He didn't give me a book, he gave me the map. A copy of the map.
Oh my God! Thank you.
His eyes bulge a little bit as Crystal hugs him again. Why are you all so strong?
Like a squeaky toy?
Yeah.
'Cause I need to carry lots of books.
He chuckles as he goes, I will begin the research here looking at anything I can. I'm glad we've come to an accord. And we shall tell the story. And the original text shall sit in your halls, Pure.
Pure bows their head respectfully.
But this is this story. And that is where we'll end it, as we get into the intro of the Legend Forgotten. The story of Leto Valley, Feyfria the Devoted, and Pyrrha's Crusader's Mantle, who canonically she's had for almost 2 years. So, we get into the story of all this. There'll be stuff me and you get to talk about Fallen, how this eventually will play out. It's going to be a lot of kind of more RP. There will eventually be a fight when you have some more A ranks. There'll be some of that. A lot of exploration. A lot of good times. So,
Yay!
Thank you, Mixer, for tuning in to the intro to all this. Thank you to the players for, letting us have a little fun with Fiora and making Marcus's life just a little bit harder, as we always try and do.
We all know Braun's got competition now.
So, Mixer, I don't know what the raid situation is for tonight. People say yes, people say no. We may or may not stream it, but we will be back at about midnight for another murder mystery in Dustfell. After that, we have multiple games tomorrow. I might do another kind of coffee stream with World of Final Fantasy. We might do some lore streams. We'll see. So, thank you all again for tuning in. Thank you to the players. And we'll see you hopefully later tonight. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.